I'm Ken Amaro, and this is Getting It Done.
I think 2020 really gave us a microphone, if you will, to say, hey, this is an issue, but there are some solutions that we can, and some tools and things that we can use together to work together.
Moving forward, after a year of struggle and strife, the group moving to build bridges across the River City. And inequality is endemic. On average, 15% live in poverty.
We tend to live by people who are equally yoked to us. So we don't understand that opportunity does not extend in all parts of Jacksonville the same way.
We sit down with City Council member Brenda Priestley Jackson about what City Hall is doing.
I feel like we're getting there. We're going somewhere.
And on the campus at UNF, a new kind of folk art, how this multi-talented artist is getting it done.
For the past 3 decades, I've been on your side, listening to your concerns, helping you solve your problems. But now I'm turning the focus on those who are getting it done. The summer protests of 2020 and this ongoing pandemic have pulled back the covers on a number of issues in our community, among them racial and economic disparities. There are a number of individuals who are out there getting it done, and this program is about what they're doing and how they're doing it. Here at First Coast News, we find their efforts not only inspiring but motivational and productive. We begin with 90 Forward. Perhaps this is your first time hearing of this organization, but 5 years ago, it was a group of diverse friends who got together and said, let's do something.
Our mission and our vision is to help end racism here in our city. And we do that by having, really authentic, hard, difficult conversations about race. I think if we look, at the data that talks about disparities in terms of, health and housing and economic prosperity and education, and justice, we see very clearly that there is racism that exists that keeps and prevents people of color, particularly Black and African American people, from being their best selves.
Dr. Kimberly Allen, CEO of 90 Forward, believes the wider the circle of inclusion, the better the community.
So what is 90 Forward doing to get it done?
We have a number of different programs that are currently in existence. One of them is called the Race Cards, and it's actually just this deck of cards. There are 52 questions in there that allow people to have conversations, and it guides the conversation around race.
Jacksonville is a growing city with a growing diverse population. The U.S. Census describes the racial makeup as 58% white, 31% Black, 10% Hispanic, and about 5% Asian.
We do have testimonials of people who have said to us, as a result of participating in this event, I've been able to have a conversation with people who I never thought would change. And, they are starting to think differently about race and racism and how it plays out in our community.
Dr. Allen stepped into the leadership role January 2020.
For racial justice, social justice, for change, has your efforts been energized by the summer of 2020?
I think 2020 really gave us a microphone, if you will, to say, hey, this is an issue, but there are some solutions that we can, and some tools and things that we can use together to work together to make our city better. This does not have to be the narrative going forward, but we have to have some very difficult conversations.
If you're a parent, how do you speak to your children about race?
I do that. I have 3 children. I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And I think in particular in the pandemic, when the kids are also home and they're seeing, what parents are watching, I think the policy we have in our house is to be honest and age appropriate. Mr. Amaro, my son was 2 years old when he came home to me from daycare, and he told me that he was Black. And, I was upset because I didn't know the context in which he was told that he was Black. And, you know, that is a conversation that I think absolutely starts at home. I wasn't hoping to have it start at 2 years old, but that's when I had to have that conversation with him and instill in him a sense of positivity and pride that comes with his racial identity. And to say, yes, at 2 years old, yes, you are Black, sweetie, but you're brilliant, you're smart, you're caring, you are loving, and you're important. And so, unfortunately, sometimes the world around our children lets them know what and who they are before you get a chance to really have that conversation with them.
Where do you see things going in 2021?
I'm hopeful, and I think I have to be hopeful that because the world is watching and things are changing so rapidly, and I think with the change of pace, I think people are ready to listen. And if you're ready to listen, and if you have the heart and the curiosity to want to think differently, there are people like us, there are organizations like ours who are willing to meet you wherever you are to get you on the path to racial awareness and creating better opportunities for people around you.
If you want to do social justice, you say, how am I going to rectify historic inadequacies?
When we return, sitting down with City Council member and getting a look at the plans to make progress after years of delays.